they're sending us to Japan. World Cosplay Summit has been bringing cosplayers from all over the world together, but it's for a TV show. It's not really like cosplayers get to meet and interact with each other, and like it's not a cultural thing. It's for the ratings for the TV show. They come and they put on a performance, and they have the budget to fly people from all over the world to do the World Cosplay Summit, which is great in its own thing. You know, it's a great opportunity for cosplayers here. But what I would really love to see is a sort of cosplayer exchange program that could potentially be worldwide, so that like bigger cons would, you know, let cosplayers that win in their masquerade go to another country and be guests in that country, and then in return, that country will send their winners to the U.S. That's one thing that has never been done, I think. Like, the U.S. has not, except for maybe a couple Japanese idols, never really invited cosplayers, you know, from all over the world. So, hopefully that's something that could happen, because I think it would be a fantastic opportunity for people from different cultures to learn about each other's cons, and to really sort of share the love and share the wealth and, you know, knowledge that we all have. I don't know, it would take like definitely some open-minded cons. Like, I could never go to Otakon or, you know, Anime Expo and say, hey, what do you guys think of that? You know, they just wouldn't do it. But so yeah, I do wish they would realize how much cosplay can bring to a convention, you know.
Yeah, that's true. Have you ever picked out a cosplay and then had to rethink it? Either because it just wasn't possible to do, or you got into the mechanics of it and it just didn't seem like it was going to work the way you wanted it to work?
I'll say that I've lost interest while making costumes, but not because I thought it was impossible to do. I admit I had thought for a few years that to do a really good Carmilla was pretty impossible. You know, I just didn't have the knowledge of how to do the wig and, you know, things like that. So, but when I like decided to do it, you know, I just kind of powered through it. I had moments where I was like, gosh, I do not know how to do this, how to make this, but you just kind of, you know, I just really stuck to it. And I don't think that there are some things that you can't do. I think some things you have to modify for it to work in real life, and I think that's okay, you know. And I think that's why I've always taken sort of artistic liberties for costumes, be it as simple as fabric choice or as intricate as adding certain embellishments to the outfit. It's all about bringing the character to life and make it work in real life instead of how it is in the anime. Because it's like, we're not always surrounded by wind blowing our hair, and, you know, our capes aren't always flowing, and, you know. So it's like you have to do other things to still make the character look dynamic and, you know, so very interesting. Like, he's a very regal character, but, you know, his costume is pretty plain except for the flowing cape at all times. Then you choose brocade fabric to show that he is still, you know, from high birth, stuff like that. So, no, I refuse to give up on costume. Like, hopefully everything I try to tackle, even if I have to put it away for like 6 months, I'll still be able to tackle at one point.
So you make all your own costumes?
Yes, I make all my costumes.
Did you receive professional training, or did you learn how to sew on your own?
I had a friend show me how to use a sewing machine, and she didn't put thread in the needle, and she drew like lines and swirls on a piece of paper and had me do that. Puncture the paper and follow the lines, and she taught me how to read a pattern, and that's the extent of training I've received. I mean, of course, like over the years, like I've read lots of books, I've done a lot of experimenting, I've talked to friends, like, you know, we'd be like, hey, you know, or we'd be like at a con and be like, wow, your costume was great, how did you do this theme? And they're like, yeah, well, I did this and this, and this is how I did this, and we're like, okay, well, I'll try that. And that's, I think, how most cosplayers gain their skills, is just from, how did you do that, you know? And I actually have considered going to college maybe for fashion or costume design, but then I spoke to a friend of mine who did go, but then she at the same point had her own costume commission business, and she said that the fashion school was completely a waste of money, and each semester she would get to make one garment when she could come home, work on her commissions, and make like 5 garments in, like 2 weeks. So she got a lot more practice out of it. She bought all the textbooks and, learned that way, and was able to teach herself all the necessary techniques. So I took an advice from her and kind of kept on working on my own skills. And also, I think by not being bound by professional training, I can think of like really crazy ways to manipulate, the fabric, things that, with training you might not, or I can devote more time to building props or working on wigs and stuff. So, yeah. Yes?
What kind of sewing machine do you use?
I use actually just like a $200 Kenmore. I would like to one day have a really, really nice sewing machine, but you don't really need something uber fancy unless you are doing like lots of fancy stitching or embroidery. I mean, truly, and I don't like super uber computerized machines, because it's harder to sew certain fabrics with them, because they're like programmed to sense certain pressure. If you have multiple layers and it's a computer controlled machine, it's not going to go through. If it's like, oh, there are too many layers, where you can actually go through it. It's like a manual machine, it can take it if you have a thick enough needle. So I have a serger. I have a brother serger, so it's like it's nothing over a couple $100. Maybe in the future I'd like to slowly save up, but right now I don't feel like I need it.
What's some of your favorite props to create? I've seen your wings on your website, so I'm really curious what some of your favorite props and things of the like are to make.
Wings are definitely my favorite. And I like to experiment with different shapes of wings, and I feel like feathers are such a wonderful organic material. You can do so much with it, and because there's so many different types of feathers. It's just beautiful. And aside from that, I am very big into making jewelry and pieces like that. I like to sculpt and cast little pieces, out of plastic, because I'm still learning how to work with molding and casting materials, and I'm very lucky I have a great teacher who's sitting right there who can teach me how to do that. I sculpted my Athena staff. Right here, I sculpted the staff out of clay, and then I made a mold with it, and then cast it out of plastic. So the whole staff is plastic, because I wanted it to be fairly sturdy, but it's a little thin. So like thin plastic can still break, so I'm going to redo it and make it, maybe more reinforced. But definitely in the future, you'll see me do more costumes involving props and involving like armor. I really would like to get into that, because it's like I made so many cute dresses. I beaded a lot. I've made a lot of corsets, and it's like I want to keep challenging myself. So Carmilla was great because it had a lot of structural weird pieces that I had to pattern out, and like 3D pieces, and I was like very happy to be doing something like that. So now there are other things that I would really like to get into. And I want to start using different materials. Like I want to start, or I have slowly started playing with latex, and which you can't sew. You have to glue it with a certain glue that you have to mix up. And I want